Hey guys, it's Maya. So welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. And today I'm going to be over, that's how I say, my favorite historical fiction books. So I really like historical fiction. It's like one of my favorite genres. And I actually don't really own a whole lot, but am I have enjoyed the vast majority of the ones I do have. So I'm just gonna talk about my favorite ones that I have. So okay, I guess really my probably favorite one. Can't really count as historical fiction, but basically why. But instead count as historical fiction because it has historical aspect in it. But that's at the end of the list, so let's get started. The first one here is Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscelco. Um so this essentially this is set in hang on. Okay, so like whatever year 1885, 1886, I think, whatever year Jack the Ripper was around. I think it's 1886 though. So this is kind of like Victorian England. And this girl named what's her name? Yeah, I've literally forgot her name. I'm so sorry. Hang on. Audrey Rose. Okay. I was gonna say something like I knew it was like a rose in there. I was gonna say like Jean Rose or something, but no, her name's Audrey Rose. And she essentially like would help her like one of her classmates and like he's like trying to like figure out like who is Jack the Ripper because he's like a strong feeling that maybe someone he knows and her uncle's accused of it. So he's trying to figure out like is her uncle actually Jack the Ripper? Is someone else Jack the Ripper? Is it even someone he knows? Like he's just trying to like figure out who Jack the Ripper is. So yeah. It tells a lot about how one was expected to behave during the 19th century. And like especially like in Europe during that time period, and how Audrey Rose like does actually really like girly things, but he also like really likes dissecting things, he does stuff like that isn't really like seen as lady-like. So does he want to be a lady or does he want to be a tomboy? Those are like that's like the main historical aspect there, as well as like Jack the Ripper. Also, it's like they have advanced technology yet back then today. So yeah, it's pretty exciting and pretty good. The next one here is The Nightingale by Kristin. This is a World War II adult historical fiction novel, and it follows the story of these two sisters alive in France during World War II, and like their experiences during World War II. It's sort of like a frame story. So like one of the sisters had a child, and she's like been invited to like this anniversary of the World War II. So like the frame story is like set in like mid-90s, and then the rest of the story is like told like through like what they're going through the World War II. It's like about the women's war, like what women did to help. And it's like very sad. This is like heavily upon like the oppression of the French people, like during like when the Nazis like were ruling there of like France. It is very sad times. It's a very very sad scene. But I'm not gonna say what it is, but like you probably will know if you read it. Like it is devastating. Um, it's also about like sisterhood and like the importance of sisterhood, like family, as well as like always being together as a family. So I really like that. The next one is The Passing of Dolssa by Julie Berry. I also read Lovely War by Julie Berry. I like that book, but I like this one more because it says it's on like one of my favorite time periods. And that's like medieval times. This is set in like 1242, I believe. And it follows the story of a girl named Dolssa, and she like escapes being like burned at the fire for witchcraft and heresy. Her mother is dead. So she like escapes like this countryside into like a manor, and she's like taken in by these three sisters, and it tells them like all about like the oppression of a woman and how like those who like seem that's like different or like singled out, and how like they mistreated the poor people because like of like divine right and stuff like that. It really like it really shows up importance for like the importance of like equality and like letting people like speak their minds. Because if you back then if you spoke your mind, you would like be accused of heresy unless you were like a leader or something, or like a priest. And especially if you were a woman, that would be like seen as like bad. And this is why like we need to keep like religion and government separate. Like it's all here and it's very beautifully written and it's half short, so it's like easy to read too. And I actually enjoyed it. It's pretty good. Next one is The Valiant by Lesley Livingston. Again, this is a more fair time period to learn about. Now it's like the Roman Empire. Yeah, I think it's Roman Empire. Yeah, Roman Empire. It's about like a Gaelic princess named Fallon, and she is kidnapped by Julius's army and like forced to become a gladiator. In this space of real evidence discovered that there might have been actual human gladiators during the Roman Empire. And they also like touch about heavily about themes like sisterhood and like honor. Um so like it shows like the relationships of between like Fallon and the other female gladiators, and like they become like a family to each other, as well as like her relationship with her own sister, and like what she learns it means to be a warrior. I think that's really nice. The next one I have here is Nora and Kettle by Nicole Taylor. This is set during 1950s, like post Japanese internment. So now I can really like talk about a time period in U.S. history. And this follows the story of a girl named Nora. Um, and she's like living like in a decent household right now. And a boy named Kettle, who's a Japanese American boy, is struggling to get by post internment. He's like he took upon himself to over all these like poor boys that have been banned post internment, and they like live like side by side, like their lives like parallel until the night that they finally meet, and they quickly really become friends, and then they like end up like deciding to work together, like find like Nora's sister is like gone missing, and it's a romance story. It's a very cute romance. Um, it tests upon themes like abuse, discrimination, and poverty, which is not really talked about in YA, but like I feel like it's very very important that this book did it. The next one is The Fountains of Science by Ruta Sepetys. This is set during the post Spanish Civil War, the 1950s, so like the same time period as like Nora and Kettle. Well, the first part is set during the 1950s, the second part is in the 1970s when like Franco dies. The fault is about the rule of Francisco Franco and like the oppression that Spanish were under when he was alive. So yeah, Blaine Daniels like trying to like win his photojournalist competition, began to like a photojournalism school. He doesn't know what to do, but Dad wants him like continuing family business with the oil company. And so like he goes to Spain and hopes like gain like good pictures there to win a competition, and then he falls in love with like his hotel mate Anna, and he like learns like the true tragic lives of these like the people of Spain, and it's told from like multiple perspectives. It's told from Dale's perspective, Anna's perspectives of Anna's family and friends, and it goes like behind the scenes, like what's like going on, like what were like Nora people doing, and like how like Americans like bad things going on around American solve this. So it was like a very hard book to get through because there's like a lot of dark stuff, but like again, this was like the importance of like not bringing religion into government. The second to last book here is very very popular one. Of course, I'm gonna have it on here. It's like almost like everyone's favorite, but it's not my favorite. It's my second favorite, and that is A Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. So I'm pretty sure most of you probably know this about, but in case you don't, it's just like World War II. Follows the story of a little girl in Germany named Liesel. Liesel? I have no idea. Is it Liesel? Liesel? I think it's Liesel. Actually, like Liesel. Liesel. I don't know. I'm not doing. I'm gonna put Liesel. So it sounds French. So Liesel, it seems like lives this old couple whose mother's a communist and is like Nazi Germany at the time. And her brother dies. She like has to like go alone. So once she's living with this old couple, Liesel learns like love reading and like the power of words, and then they like force like start like hiding in the basement in hope like protecting him from the Nazis. And it's all about like how this like little girl like looks at all the stuff that's going on around her and like tries to comprehend it, and like all the hate is going on around her. And this truly shows like how like important like love actually is, how like strong words are, how dangerous hate can be, and like how can like hate like take over the world, and what would happen if we do, and like how we often underestimate how powerful its words can be. It's also like narrated by Deaf with like ads to like the effects like World War II. It's like just a beautiful story. It's not a short book at all. It's like it's like 660 pages or something. It's a very long book, but it is worth the read. It definitely is. It's very very entertaining. And the last one here is my favorite historical fiction book I've read so far. Again, I'm not sure if you like count as historical fiction because it was like part contemporary. But that is The Seven Husbands of Hugo by Jenkins Reid. This is between two perspective Evelyn Hugo, an actress from like old Hollywood days, like from the 50s and the 80s, and the perspective of Monique, a journalist who is interviewing Evelyn Hugo. So essentially, it's about like how like Evelyn Hugo's like life as an actress, and almost like her be like a queer woman of color in old Hollywood days, and how that she was lost, and how they struggled like regain cultural identity as like a Cuban woman, due to like Hollywood standards, like making her feel like very white, and like how she like was struggled to come out to as bisexual to the public because it was in a very safe place to queer people all the time. Also, like once like her relationship with some husbands, so she has some husbands. It's like it's when like all the like negative aspects of Hollywood and like the price of fame and like how oppressed the minorities were during the 50s. Price like civil rights movement. And that is it, everybody. So thanks for watching. If you like the video, please like and subscribe for future content, and I'll see you guys next.